and welcome to A Cup of Conversation on BRT2TV. I'm your host, John Guzzi, and today we're talking about filming in the TRNC. I have an old friend in the studio with us, and his name is Peter Wills. I'm sure regular viewers remember Peter from a year or two ago. And with Peter, we have two budding film producers who will be filming, hopefully, in the very near future here in North Cyprus. And we have, as our guests, alongside Peter, Oliver Blackburn and Claire Robinson. So first of all, guys, welcome to the programme.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Now, Peter, let's start with you first. Good friends, it's great to have you back here at BRTK again.
Thank you.
And it seems like your dream of putting North Cyprus on the filming map is coming true.
It is, and this is looking very exciting for this year. It's 6 or 7 years of hard work, banging heads and trying to get out there and let people know just how good North Cyprus is for filming.
Yeah.
And this year now, with particularly this film being the first one which will be filmed here this year, and other inquiries that we've got which we can talk about, I think it's long last is actually coming together and people recognise the potential.
And we would like to mention to people out there that you have an interest in film, you've done a bit of acting yourself over the years, and you have now a production company, don't you, here?
I started off, when I realised, moved here 8 years ago, I realised what the potential was, and set up a company called North Cyprus Film to really promote North Cyprus as a location. We then, last year, had a very serious, which is still ongoing, inquiry from India, which is to shoot a number of sequences here as part of a big Bollywood movie.
Wow.
And I realised, because of the size of it, I mean, we were talking about a 5.5 million TL project, including sort of 80 crew and actors and dancers and all sorts of things. It was just far too big for me to handle by myself.
Yeah.
And I have sort of two acquaintances, two colleagues. One was Andy Radford, who was established here making films, and Leo Collier-Bet, who is associated with Andy. And I said, look, you know, here's a project that we need to get together on. So we had discussions, and as a result, we've now formed a company called North Cyprus Film Productions, because between us we have the skill and the expertise and experience to be able to offer almost a complete package service for anybody at any size of film coming to the island.
Fantastic. Sounds great for the island and its future in film.
Hopefully, yes.
Fingers crossed. Now, we have with you today, you've brought two lovely guests, two youngsters from the UK. We have Oliver and Claire. Now, Oliver, welcome to the programme once again. Oliver, what is your position at the moment? You're producing the film, aren't you?
Yes, so I'm one of 3 producers on the film, along with Claire, and we've got another producer, Jake Woods, who's heading up the team back in England. And our main role is just to get everything sorted for the filming commencing in May, coming to Cyprus, finding locations, just sorting everything out.
Now, you are linked to a university, aren't you?
We are, yeah.
So what university are you?
So we're from University of Central Lancashire, which is UCLan for short, which has campuses in Cyprus and in China. We're currently studying film production. We're in a 2nd year, so that's why we're doing this feature film. I mean, UCLan is the only university that offers this to the students, so a lot of people that are doing this course came to UCLan just to do the feature film because no other university was supplying it.
Excellent. And so, Claire, you're a colleague, a friend of Oliver's.
Yeah, I am.
And you're also interested in production work?
Yeah, so we work together, and I do what Oliver does as well, and I mainly work more with the casting side of things, whereas Oliver's more locations and logistics. I mean, we do a bit of both each, but I'd say we kind of split it and find a common ground between what we're each best at doing.
Because there's a lot of work involved, isn't there, in the production side of everything? It sounds very simple, you know, produce a film, but actually it's a lot of work, like coming out to locations and viewing them beforehand and seeing if it's suitable, or, as you said, casting people in the right role. You can make or break the film, can't you, in a way?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm one of the casting directors as well, so I've cast a lot of the actors myself. So we've started from sitting through hundreds of auditions, hundreds of requests, and eventually we've got down to the main people that are really, really good and hopefully are going to do the film justice.
So what's your link then to Island of Cyprus? I mean, there you are, it's at a university in the UK.
Yeah.
what's the link to the island of Cyprus in general?
Well, we do have a campus in the southern side of Cyprus,
Yes.
but the reason why we're in the north is because when we wrote the script, we wrote it for the north, just because of how it looked online. I mean, none of us have actually been here to find locations. We just liked the look of it. We thought it offered really good value. And how we got in contact with Peter, he answered one of our acting ads, and because we were filming his character in England, multiple issues, he didn't get the part, but on that Peter provided us that he had a company that had helped us out with everything, and this trip has gone really well so far. We've got so many locations done, more than we thought we could get done.
Very interesting. So, Peter, in a way, you were looking for a job as an actor and have become sort of, you know, the man in North Cyprus to be...
Mr. Fix-It.
Mr. Fix-It in North Cyprus.
Yeah, I just saw this on Facebook page and saw that they were planning to make part of the film here in Cyprus. And as you mentioned right at the beginning, I have done acting before in films, so I thought, well, I'll just sort of contact them and say I'm available. But because most of the character that I was interested in was actually going to be based in either China or England, and in fact most of the work's going to be done in England, it wasn't economical for them to fly me over there, put me up for accommodation and so forth. But obviously I realised very quickly that they didn't know anything really about the island, and certainly not about making films on the island. So I just said, look, I can offer you all of this range of services. And very shortly afterwards, they sent me a copy of the script, which I was absolutely knocked out by. It's a fantastic script. I called it a James Bond film without the explosions. It's really intriguing. So immediately then I started thinking of where we could actually set various scenes within this. Went back to them with sort of a whole load of suggestions, and then they redefined them slightly. So they're really on a recce now to look at the locations that I discovered and found. And fortunately, most of them, I think, seem to fit the bill, don't they?
Amazing,
but we've also now, as a result of them coming, they've seen so much and said, oh, but that'd look good in the film, and that would look good as well. So we've spent 2 whole days, basically, and one to come, from first thing in the morning to sort of late in the evening, going around looking at locations and visualising where that fits in the script, and even to the point, I think, where they're going to alter the script slightly because a location has presented itself.
Right. Okay, so let's briefly give a bit of information about the film. Now, Derecho is an international action thriller inspired by the early spy films of the genre, with intricate lies and a twist or two and a dark secret. The son of a Soviet war criminal becomes part of a mysterious conspiracy to gain access to millions of pounds and a scientific discovery that could change the world. Now, apparently Derecho is a Spanish word. Straight is a widespread, long-lived, straight-line windstorm that is associated with a land-based, fast-moving group of severe thunderstorms. So a bit of nature there, a bit of intrigue, a bit of, I don't know, very interesting synopsis there about the film, but you don't want to give away too much.
Exactly. I mean, the name, we chose the name because Alex, the main character's main kind of quest is to find how his mum actually died. Derecho is a long-winded storm that goes on for ages, and this has been affecting his family. I mean, his mum died when he was quite young. It's affecting his dad through the film. It affects him. So it kind of fits in well with that. And the main point of the film, obviously not giving too much away, is called Derecho, which links everything together. So
right. So interestingly, as producers, you are here to see the location, but you have directors and you've got the scriptwriter back in the UK.
That's correct.
So with Peter saying that, you know, maybe you might see something good that might change, are you now conversing, you know, furiously saying, do this, can we do that? I mean, obviously it's their film. They might say, no, we don't want to change anything, but do you have that leeway with them?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, every night we Skype back to the guys and just give them feedback, and they seem up for, you know, trying to figure things out. I mean, we're here for 2 weeks, so if we have got the chance to film extra scenes, we will do. The people that wrote the script, it came originally from Richard Alberson, who works within the university, and our 2 directors. Our head of sound, actually, and the director's assistant took it apart and just put in what we felt we wanted, and we got the final script that Peter likes, and hopefully you guys will like it when it comes out.
Oh, I look forward to seeing the film when it's finally finished. But here you are in North Cyprus. Is this the first time on the island for both of you? Have you been here before or not?
I personally have, yeah, on family holidays and things. This is Oliver's first time, but this is both of our first time really exploring and seeing other places that you wouldn't necessarily think to even go and look, you know, and the likes of the village of Carmi, you know, we fell in love with that. We know we want to use that as a potential location, so there's a lot of really, really good things around here.
Definitely.
You both made comments that you know that North Cyprus is a great location. I can't wait to start shooting such a beautiful part of Cyprus, says Claire. And you said that you know North Cyprus as the location around here, the beautiful locations of North Cyprus, amazing for you guys. So what is it about the island or the TRNC in particular that has attracted you guys here?
Well, the film is quite like a mystery film, and the North Cyprus is quite mystical, I have to say. I mean, a lot of people go to the south side for like their holidays and things like that. No one really, you know, you don't see it around the northern side, you don't see it in films, so we liked that kind of aspect of it. We were kind of going somewhere where no one else had gone, and again, just from looking online, we just thought it was beautiful, and the scenes and some of the villages Peter sent us, we had to come here.
I think it links back to something that we know very much about, because Oliver actually mentioned something to me the first day. He said there's a lot of people at uni didn't even realise it was a divided island. And they just think of Cyprus as being Cyprus, and the fact that there are two completely different parts. And you said to me yesterday, it's nothing like I expected it to be. So it's this sort of preconception. If people even know it's separated, they don't imagine it is perhaps as developed and as beautiful as it really is.
Yeah. That's a very interesting point. It's true. I mean, if you don't know, I mean, you can look online,
of course you can,
but really it doesn't give you the full. I mean, when you looked online, you thought, oh yeah, very nice, very beautiful. You know, I don't know, the sandy beaches or the mountains or the fields.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've come here, has it lived up to expectations? I mean, what about UK? What do you think of? You say it's a beautiful country, but when you've been going around now with Peter, have you seen it in a different light now? Are you impressed?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even, you know, just the people and the small village and the amount of history that you can still see here, and that screams to me that we are in Cyprus and we're in a different country, so that when we're looking to film, that's going to come across on screen very, very easy. So it's definitely impressive and something we really, really can't wait to use.
The infrastructure as well, we were blown away. I mean, in the script there's a hotel scene, and we saw countless of hotels that I didn't think Northern Cyprus would have had. I mean, these were like Las Vegas hotels, which I want to stay in. So seeing these things that again you don't see online is just amazing, and I kind of like urge anyone who's wanting to make a film in a kind of island scenario, come here. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, all the facilities are here. Why not?
Do you think, Peter, that the landscape of Cyprus, because you know the film is set in the UK and you're going to China, filming in China and filming in Cyprus. I'm trying to think to myself how it all links up, but can it be that, you know, our landscape is quite neutral, so you could be anywhere in the world?
Exactly. This is the one thing I've been trying to push, that it could represent anywhere in the Mediterranean first and foremost. It doesn't have to be a name-specific place, but there are parts of the island that could be treated as the desert areas. It could be America, it could be, you know, wherever you want it to be. And sometimes you can even just do a little bit of, shall we say, set dressing to make it look something it isn't. Just to give you an example, I had a lot to do with the Isle of Man, which is off the west coast of England, between England and Ireland. Isle of Man is now a mecca for filmmaking, but none of the films are about the Isle of Man. It's just that it's an island that's so versatile and diverse that was, if you like, the model in my head when I came here first and foremost and saw the potential here that it could be another Isle of Man. And my last figures from there was that the Isle of Man made £15 million in 2016 from filmmaking. And all of those are people coming into the island. So this is how I see Cyprus. In fact, I did some predictions for the government a couple of years ago, and at that stage I was saying within 1 year of actually getting our act together and promoting the island properly, we could actually be making a sort of clear profit of £5 million for the government in terms of income. Sorry, 5 million TL.
Yeah.
Plus, onto that is all the expenditure on the island in terms of accommodation and transportation, use of local labour, involvement with the universities here where there are courses for filmmaking and so forth. A whole big boost to the economy if only somebody would actually accept it and take it by the horns and move it forward.
You need someone with a forward-thinking vision to say yes, okay, let's do it. Because, like you said, there is a great opportunity out there for young filmmakers or producers to come to the island and film here.
Well, I mean, this is the second time I've worked with young people in the university. We made a short film here last year, which was filmed predominantly on Escape Beach, and that was filmed as a sort of graduation project for this particular student. And again, I think we've alluded basically, their film is going to initially be shown at film festivals, which will be festivals hopefully all the way around the world.
Correct, yeah.
The people that go to festivals are professional directors, producers, sponsors, and this is really their way of breaking into the market if their film is seen by the right people.
Yeah.
And this is what happened with the short that I was involved in as well. There's a great opportunity, I think, now. People have got a little bit fed up with the staid, old-fashioned storylines, if you like. The opportunity for young people coming into the industry is growing all the time. And it's also this sort of change of attitude, if you like. Yours is a twist on an old-fashioned storyline, if you like, brought up to date. And that's, I think, is what appeals.
I think going back to festivals as well, we are wanting to get it everywhere pretty much because of them reasons, and it's already been accepted into the Great Northern Film Festival, which is a festival based in the north of England, and that'll be getting premiered November of this year in the category of up and coming films, so it won't be completely finished, but it'll have its first rough cut and available for people to watch.
So really, from now, you're doing all the scouting, looking around, and then you'll be back, fingers crossed, to film in May.
That's right.
And then hopefully all the post-production will be complete in time for the festivals that you want to enter and screen, fingers crossed.
Yeah, we want it to be finished early 2019, ready to take everywhere. The first rough cut again in November, and then we'd ask for feedback from the audience and just try work on something.
So that's very interesting, how it all comes together. You don't know how long a film takes, or it could be, a matter of weeks or months or, years even. So Derecho, it's quite funny that you're talking about an action film and the winds and everything. You've come to Cyprus in this month when we've had all the weather, all the climate, all the different seasons in one go, I think. You've seen the sun, you've seen the rain, you've seen the wind.
Correct.
What are your impressions about the island? I mean, obviously when you come back in May, it'll probably be easier, hotter to film in.
Yeah.
But are you thinking to yourself, yes, this is where this film should be, some scenes should be filmed in North Cyprus? Are you happy now that this is a choice being made?
I'm more than happy. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, we're going to go away from this and go back and speak with everyone and basically just say these are the locations, we have to use them, they're great.
They've had to use a little bit of imagination because, for instance, if there's a scene that involves restaurants near beaches, we have to say, well, look, when you come back to film, there will be sunbeds there will be umbrellas there will be tables overlooking the beach. But I think they had that vision anyway, and because I obviously live here and have seen it all the year round, I know exactly what it's going to look like. I mean, we visited one restaurant where no tables were out, no chairs, nothing. It still needed painting ready for the season. So as a bare thing, it looked pretty awful without saying which restaurant it was. But I know for a fact that that will absolutely look fantastic when they come to film. When
the time comes, it'll be all right on the night. We'll be ready.
All right,
exactly. Fingers crossed.
So you cast the people playing in the film. So how many people roughly do you have to cast? How many main characters do we have?
main characters, I'd say between 4 and 5 major ones that are,
Yeah.
you know, they follow through. And we've got a lot of smaller parts because the start of the film features more of like a flashback in a way. So it starts from a completely different era. So I've had to work with that and getting the actors to work in that and then bring it to the present day. And so I'd say in total we've had about 30 to 40 actors and actresses, and they've all been great.
Time is money, and I suppose when you get here to film, you need to know exactly what you're doing, where you're going to film when. I mean, I know that things don't always run in sequence, do they? You film that piece, and you film something another day, and whenever the weather's right or whatever you need. What time frame do you think that you'll be here? I mean, in May, will you be spending a week, 10 days here? Do we know?
We're here for the full 2 weeks. So
2 weeks.
our plans literally step off that plane, no rest, we're getting it done and get it straight back to the editing suite and get it all edited.
One of the beauties here is that really, relatively speaking, all the locations are close. It's not far to travel from one place to another.
Right.
So I was just going to say, obviously, what they'll do is to draw up a schedule of locations that follow on from each other, even if they don't follow on in the script. They can sort of cut and paste and edit.
Of course.
But, what we've tried to do as well, because we've had so many places to go and see, I've tried to sort of fit them into just moving along a route. And we're continuing that after we finished in the studio today. We're now going out to the airport because we'll probably use some airport shots as establishing shots to show that the person is in Cyprus.
Yeah.
And then we're going into the old city of Lefkosia because there are some shots which will be used there in the night time. So we're going to look when it's got dusk to get more of an atmosphere of what it will look like.
So Peter, where have you shown the guys so far on this brief trip of exploration?
Well, we've gone to most of the iconic places. There will be quite a lot of filming done up in Kami village because that suits. One interesting thing was the original script said that the main character arrives by train, and of course I had to let them know we didn't have any trains in Cyprus.
Yes,
so,
unfortunately.
I'm sure you've recently come across articles and things about the couple who've actually renovated a couple of the old Bedford buses.
Yes, I've seen that, yeah.
And in fact, I persuaded them to actually use a Bedford bus in the film. So we're going to have him arriving up in Kami in the Bedford bus, which will look fantastic.
But is this set in a time that's in the past, or are you going back?
No, it's really set in modern day time, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they said, well, you know, what have you got? What are the buses like? And I said, well, they're not modern buses like you have in England. They tend to be, we call them dolmus, they're sort of converted Ford Transit vans.
Yeah. And they wanted something like that.
So it wouldn't really fit the screen, and I felt it needed something a little bit out of the ordinary. I mean, these two buses are not in public service day in, day out, but they are used for special occasions. They are used for parties and weddings and what have you. And of course, it's a bit of the old tradition of Cyprus. At one stage, you'd see hundreds of those buses around.
Yeah.
So I don't think it hurts the script that it's sort of almost a little step back in time. Likewise, there are, I mean, one or two of the buildings that we've come across, they don't have any relevance to the script, but they help to show the character of the place. Particularly sort of just outside Kami, there's a fabulous shop on the corner with all wicker baskets, homemade baskets and chairs and things like that, that you cannot avoid filming because it is so characteristic. And today, for instance, we've been down in Guernsey Harbour, and there are a couple of major chase scenes in the film, and some of the back alleys around just above the harbour area there are going to be absolutely fantastic with still cobbled stones. Well, you know, that's tradition, if you like. Likewise, bringing it more up to date, we were at the main market in Guernsey yesterday, because there is a chase scene through the market.
Yeah.
And I mean, Oliver was even sort of ready to negotiate to buy a bag of onions to sort of knock on the floor when the person's running through them. This is the sort of thing. So all of those, we're going to have a look, as I said, later on we're carrying on into the old city, because there's an area there which I think fits the script. We'll probably be going to go up to St. Hilarion Castle, because although the castle doesn't really fit the script, looking from the castle down to the village of Kami will be an interesting shot. And of course, in any film, you shoot loads of things which don't necessarily end up in the final production.
Of course.
But it's far better to have more than you require than to say, oh, well, I wish we'd filmed that as well, because we haven't got enough.
Yeah, of course, you need more material than you need, so you can leave things on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
But it sounds very exciting, and I think aside from Nicosia, Lefkosia, most of the filming will be done in the Guinea area, you think?
Most of it, yes. Guinea area and probably west of Guinea. Obviously, we're using 1 or 2 hotels of different sizes for different shots, both internal and external. I mean, one of the, a lot of, as you said earlier on, a lot of the internal shots have been shot in England in studio facilities, as most films are. But you need the outer facade of the building to create the right impression.
It is really interesting hearing this. You don't really know how much goes into making a film, but it's a lot of hard work. I mean, like you say, you've got the UK, you've got China, you've got Cyprus, you've got a budget that has been given to you by the university to work with. You've got people to, to pay, and luckily you've got Peter here in the TRC to guide you. Do you need Peter to get permission for some of these locations?
Oh yes, yes. I mean, part of the service that we provide to any filmmaker, obviously, first and foremost, is finding locations. Secondly, is finding actors and extras. Third is crew and equipment, and the most important of lot is permissions and permits. And I work very closely with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who are responsible for issuing these permits. Unfortunately, over the last few years, built up a reputation or a relationship with them, I should say, where I now have on my computer at home the actual basic plain application form for a permit. So I have their permission now. I can send it straight out to filmmakers. They complete it, and I will take it into the ministry in order to obtain the permit. And most of the locations, or a lot of the locations, are private properties which don't need film permits. But anywhere where we're utilising street scenes, historic buildings, etc., it does need planning permission, if you like, or certainly a permit issued, so that if the odd policeman is walking down the street and we're there shooting a load of things, and I don't mean shooting, I mean shooting the film, at least he knows that we've actually got official government permission to be able to do that.
Of course, sometimes people think, what's going on here? Why are they filming? And who is filming, and why are they doing this? So you need the proper official permission for some scenes. Are you doing the same thing in China as well now? Have you gone out to, or will you go to China?
No, so with China, we've got our sister university there in a place called Baoding. So we're connecting up with film students there who will be helping us out doing what we're doing here, but in Cyprus, because in China, because obviously it's a bit further away. There's the firewall, so connection to China's a bit harder. But they'll be helping out, and then as soon as we go and travel there to film, they'll have everything sorted for us.
So do you guys get to come back in May to watch the filming?
We'll be here, and it's good that we've come now because we know all the villages, we know where we're staying. We'll basically be assisting everyone and sorting it all out, working with Peter and working with the guys.
Well, I mean, also logistically, it's not just the actual filming, but they've also been sorting out. I mean, there's going to be 22 people, we said, basically coming over. Accommodation is required for 2 weeks. Transportation is required. Certain amount of catering. You can't have people working all day without feeding them or giving them a coffee.
Of course not.
So there's all of that side which people don't appreciate. When they see a film, it's a film, and they see the actors and perhaps a good storyline, but it's all the work which goes on behind, both before the actual filming and afterwards, of course.
Yes, of course. That's why there's a whole list of credits at the end. Thank you to all the people who do all the different jobs. So yes, it is very important to think about all these things logistically. Be honest, guys. Is this the location that you really hoped for? I mean, don't be nice just because we're here and you're in North Cyprus at the moment, but do you think, now that you're here, you can see it face to face, are you visualising how it's going to work out in the film, and are you glad that North Cyprus is the place that you've chosen to do some of these scenes?
Definitely. I mean, the fact that we're trying to write more scenes to film here just says it all. if we didn't like it, we wouldn't be filming here.
Yeah.
I mean, the schedule's getting sorted. Back in England, we have an amazing crew working. Today's their main day, so on a Thursday, everyone gets together.
That'll be done by the end of tonight, won't
Yeah,
it? So everything's probably getting done as we speak. So
all the schedules and everything.
What a great opportunity for you guys as university students to be able to do these type of things, to go, and here you are on the island of Cyprus as well, and who knows where you'll be next, what's happening next, but is this where you want to go now? Are you happy with what you've chosen as your career plan? Do you want to stay in this direction as a producer?
Yeah,
casting?
Definitely, like everything that we're doing, it only benefits us, and as well, we get credits and that for this, and to apply for jobs, especially in this industry, that's what you need. So it's not just the degree and the paper you get at the end of it, it's what you can actually do and show for that, and this is the only uni in England that gives us this chance to do it. So.
Yeah.
I think myself, and I probably speak on behalf of all the crew, the reason we chose to go to UCLan to study this degree is because they offer the feature film course, where I'm from Leeds, I could have gone to my local film school or university, but I wouldn't have been given this opportunity. Yeah, I probably could have done a couple of short films, Claire could have done exactly the same, but the fact that UCLan offers this feature film, I think any budding director or producer should grab it, especially if they're in England.
Very, very interesting, and I know that you've already got experience at the age of 14. Your first film, you worked at the production, and it was actually in the Cannes Film Festival as well, wasn't it? So you're a young guy but with great experience already, and are you looking forward to then pushing this into the arena out there, do you think it could be a blockbuster category?
I don't know about blockbuster cinema wise, but it'll definitely be feature film festival material. We want to push it out to all the different festivals in England, everywhere, premiering it in Cyprus. It's just, we want to kind of push it as much as we can to get everyone's name out. Also approaching online streaming platforms, because they're a really up and coming way to watch movies. No one really buys DVDs now or things like that. I personally watch everything on Netflix and other streaming websites that are available. So we want to I think his aim is to get it on a platform where people can stream it.
So fingers crossed, in the future when it's all finished, you are hoping to do a gala premiere here, I hope.
Oh, definitely.
Fingers crossed.
I think they obviously, because they're Preston-based, Preston in Lancashire, the main premiere will be held there.
Yeah.
But they said to me, we'd love to come and actually do a second premiere here in Cyprus because it features so strongly in the film. And a lot of people in Cyprus will, one way or another, have been involved with it.
Yes, and I know that you were chatting with my colleague Denise Phillips on the radio about this. There might even be a chance for a few people to be involved here, maybe as extras or what's happening?
Basically, extras are not sort of shown as parts in the film, but there will be occasions when we will need a few extras who, as against the people in the street who just walk past or people in the restaurant or whatever, there will be one or two people, I think, who need directing. So there will be a sort of, I don't know, can't say at this stage whether it be half a dozen, 12 people, whatever. People who can be controlled to do exactly what the director of the film actually wants them to do. So yes, I mean, unfortunately, because of their budget, it's not a big blockbuster in terms of budget. It will not be paid per parts to play, but people who would like to be involved in the film from the acting point of view, if you like, if they're interested, all sorts of age groups. We can't guarantee everybody a role in the film. He might be sitting on a bus, it might be in a restaurant, but if they want to get involved because of the interest, then they can actually contact me on my North Cyprus film email address with a picture. At least we can sort of build up a stockpile then, and we can sort of let them choose who they'd like and when they're required.
Excellent, sounds
it's
really
the fun
good.
of doing it and being involved, not the cash reward.
Yeah, of course, just to be part of a film like this, it would be reward enough, I think. And I know that you're getting funding online, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
So people can actually sponsor you or, you know, donate money,
Yes.
give money to you. How is that working? Who wants to tell me about that?
It's going really well. I mean, we have been advised to do it, and a lot of short films and feature films that are got a small budget do it. It's on a funding page called Indiegogo, and you can just search for Derecho, which is Derecho, and it comes up. We've got a little comedic video, which is pretty much us killing as crew. As nasty as it seems, you know, we're kind of filming it in the same style as we'd film the feature film, so people can watch that, have a laugh. And then with the incentive to give us some money, you've got perks or rewards. So it goes all the way up to £1,000 where you can have a featured cameo role in the film and be an executive producer. So anybody wants to donate to the film, I mean, it'll help.
Yeah.
Young.
I was listening to the interview that you did on the radio, and like, you know, £5 gets you a thank you from the director producer, and then £10 gets you a bit more, a part of a puzzle. You were saying,
yeah. So we're,
a piece of the puzzle.
We're getting a jigsaw puzzle made of our poster, and whoever donates the £10 or more receives it, and it's kind of like you know, this is a part of the puzzle that you help put together. So it's a nice little way to give something back to our backers.
Excellent. That's a really good idea. And like you said, £1,000 gets you a cameo role in the film, so you have to write them in.
Yeah, we will.
You might get £10,000 and you have to write 10 people in. Would that be good? Would that be good though?
Amazing,
Or one person giving £10,000 and they're starring in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of the star
Get
already and
the
put
big
you got a new lead at the last minute. But it sounds really good. And so you just go to the website and look for, as you said, Derecho, and they can just, you know, do their donation online, wherever they are around the world.
Exactly.
Even here in North Cyprus, any businessman out there or any person who wants to support this film, Derecho, do it, I think. But you guys are doing really well, and I think it's an amazing achievement. And I think, Peter, like I said at the beginning of the interview, it's a dream come true, isn't it? This is what you wanted happening.
Exactly, yes. And I think what pleases me here, I mean, we have got various inquiries. Recently we were showing around a location manager from China, and we had another location manager from New York who is employed by major studios in America to look for unusual locations. We've had 2 inquiries very recently that we're working on currently from India. It's all beginning to gel together, and it's nice that it's these people who are doing this first one. You know, after all the hard work and the promotion, if you like.
Yeah. It's
so
nice.
I mean, and I think the script is absolutely fantastic. It's a shame they haven't got a much bigger budget, because it could be a full-scale general release movie. The quality of the script, I think, is that good.
Well, that sounds very, very promising, very encouraging, and hopefully when we see the final product, it'll be good. And like you say, it'll be premiered here, and then, as you said as well, online, so anyone can watch it in the future. Please let us know when it will be available for us to watch, and I'll be at the premiere as well.
Thank
so I hope
you.
I get an invite, Peter.
I'm sure.
And one final thing, I'm going to put you on the spot now. What is your favourite location so far that you've seen here at the TRNC? What has stood out for you in your brief trip to North Cyprus?
I'd have to say, because I wasn't aware of all the infrastructure in Northern Cyprus, I'd say the hotels that look like they've been copied and pasted from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to come here for holidays now, because that's my favourite location.
Yeah, great modern,
beautiful,
5-star hotels.
Amazing. I didn't even know like them places existed like in here, and yeah, that's my favourite place. What about you?
I'd say Corrie Village. I'm more of a historic. I love all of that stuff, but that, I mean, I knew it existed. I just didn't realise it was that beautiful. You see it on the internet all the time. You don't actually believe it could look like that, and to see it in person, it's exactly what you can imagine.
I mean, Cyprus has a lot of history, 9,000, 10,000 years of history.
Yeah.
With all the, you know, everywhere you go, you've got a castle, you've got a cathedral or a mosque or something, you know, some historical place. So you like the history side of the island?
Yeah, and you know, just either walking around, driving around, you can see that's so clear just in this one side of the island alone.
Yeah.
So it's great just to be able to see that and to think what happened, 30, 40 years ago. You can't still see signs of that today, so it's really, really
I must say also that we've had really sort of good reception from the people that we've met, that either at hotels or the buses or whatever. Everybody seems quite excited and pleased to meet you and pleased that young people are actually doing something.
That's good. And so would you then, when you go back and this is all finished, would you then recommend this island to other producers and filmmakers to say, yes, go out there and film?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we were discussing the other day about if we have any other films to shoot, we definitely come here. Like, there's so much on either side of the island that you can go and see. So, if you come in the summer, you come in the winter, they're like two completely different places.
And it can act as, again, so many locations, can't it? It doesn't have to be not the north of Cyprus, it could be anywhere, as long as you get the right locations. I mean, there's mountains, there's seas, there's everything in between. So
of course, I mean, there's such a big difference in wherever you go. I mean, Kami is a beautiful village, but very, very English style, up in the mountains. Then you've got the old, real rustic villages, haven't you, as well?
But, I mean, even Kami is still very traditional in lots of ways.
Yes.
In the white painted walls and the sort of wrought iron and stuff that's around. And the fact that it is on so many different levels like this.
Very picturesque.
It is picturesque, and I think that's the important thing.
And then from Kami to another village to, like you said, massive hotels, complexes. You could be, as you said, in Las Vegas or anywhere else around the world. So there is a lot to offer when you think about it.
Tremendous, and we've not really explored two of the big assets here. One is the mountains. We haven't really been into the mountains, and if you go up there and sort of the top of the mountains, that gives you another type of location.
Yeah.
Likewise, we've not been onto the beaches, and I mean, they've only seen a couple of short pieces of beach from the mainland. There are extensive beaches, as we all know here, and I mean, you can do all sorts of things. You could actually make a beach look like a desert, or forget the water, but just have horses charging along it,
Go off to the Karpat Peninsula, where all the sandy beaches are untouched.
That's right, they are literally untouched, and I mean, there's no way within the time that you had here to take you that far, but that's another world in that direction.
That's another film.
It's another film.
Another film in the future. Guys, Peter, Oliver and the lovely Claire, thank you very much for coming today to BRT and for sharing your valuable time with us, because I know you have to be out and about and seeing more locations, but I wish you all the best for the film and hopefully see you back in May with your crew. With your actors, and I'd love to see, maybe we'll have the chance to watch you filming. We could learn a lot from you guys. So keep in touch, Peter.
Oh yes, I will do.
Let us know when the guys are here.
It'd be nice to do an outside broadcast of the filming taking place, because it links in with the story then.
Yeah, why not? And I look forward to the completed Derecho film in early 2019.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're more than welcome. Good luck, and thanks for all that you're doing. You're doing a great job. Well done.
Cheers.
And with that, we've come to the end of this very interesting couple conversation with the guys behind Derecho, which will be filmed here in the TRNC, partly in the TRNC, later on in May, and then maybe the film will be out at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. So watch for this film online, or I'll definitely be shouting out about this on my Facebook page in the future. Until we meet again, another guest or two here in the studios of BRTK. Take care and go well. Bye-bye.